Lamar Jackson, I think he's going to run, man, especially if he has to, especially if they're down. I do think Noah Gray could easily sneak in here and have a 30, 35-yard type of receiving game. I like over 12.5 receiving yards. I'm going to go with Kansas City on the money line. And what's going on, guys? Friday, we got some football to talk about today. I'm going to go over college football games for tomorrow. I'm also going to cover the NFL game going on today, the Packers and the Eagles. Yesterday's video gave out the official whiteboard winning free pick, number 1 of the year. Kansas City Chiefs on the money line cashed it. We also went 2-1 in the prop department. So a 3-in-1 day on the free picks in yesterday's video. Definitely consider subscribing to my channel and drop a like on today's video. I'm going to update that whiteboard with 2 more winning picks today, hopefully for you guys to cash some more money on. But I'm not even going to talk about that. Please give me 30 to 45 seconds of your time. I need to talk about something very specific. Yesterday, I told you in that video that my confidence level on that Chiefs game was good. I mean, good enough to even suggest you guys an official whiteboard pick, free pick for you guys. But I told you my confidence level was around the range of where I probably just wasn't going to bet it. I probably just won't send it to premium. I forced a bet. I made an extremely unprofessional, and irrational. It's hard to even talk about it. Look, I made a stupid boneheaded decision. I forced action. I felt obligated because it was the first game of the year, the only game of the day. I knew everyone would want some type of action, and I forced a bet, and that is not how you win in sports betting. I know it's all fun and games, and some people watching these videos, they might not take it as serious as I do, but this is what I do for a living. It's about 90% of my income. I bet a lot of money on these games. I'll be showing you a lot of bet slips, doing some content from the casino as well, and you'll see just how much money I do put into sports betting. But look, I made a very, very irrational choice to force a bet and force a same game parlay. Now, was the game 100% rigged? Mark Andrews, really a guy that averaged 54 yards per game last year. We need less than half of that. I mean, he was open on so many plays. You could see it on the TV. They just avoided him all game. Even his second catch, he unpurposely, without anyone touching him, just dove on the ground because he knew he had to stay under that key number of 25 to kill all the prop bet parlays. I'm not going to talk about why I lost the wager. That's how sports betting just works. It's just a mojo thing. And when you know you probably shouldn't bet a game because you don't feel great about it, but you force a wager just to have some action on the game, almost always it never ends up good. So just a little update here for the subscription for my subscribers on premium. If you're on the website or thinking about joining the team, just know that moving forward, I'm going to lock in on a whole nother level. Was last year great? Yeah. Was the year before that great? Yes. That's not the point. It's been a slow start, and forcing bets like that is just not my nature. I've done this long enough to know that's just not the right way, and I want to just take responsibility right now for yesterday specifically. One really, really stupid day. Was the parlay a good choice? I mean, yeah, those wagers were pretty good. It's just unbelievably hard to believe that Mark Andrews couldn't get 25 yards, but that's how it works. When you force a bet that you should not be making just because you don't feel great about it, they just almost never pan out. So please understand that, guys. Take it to heart yourself, and just understand for all the people out there on premium, there's going to be a lot of days now that we're into football season where I'm not going to have any bets. It just is what it is. I want to focus on the Saturdays, the Sundays, Thursdays, occasional Monday, but the standalone games, Tuesday, Wednesday, when the teams that are playing are like MAC and some of these lower end conferences, I'm not going to be forcing bets that I don't feel so good about. I mean, I want to give you guys only the plays that I would risk my fucking body parts on. That's how I bet on sports. I find the spots I want. I hit them pretty hard. That's how I bet football. Maybe it's coming off the baseball season, how I got in kind of a wrong groove. I mean, we are used to just betting every day. You know, baseball is a volume thing. You make hundreds of wagers. We made over 400 bets this year and won almost 55% of them. That's baseball. Football is a different animal. You don't have to bet every day. Please understand that if you're serious about winning. Limit your betting, hit the good spots, actually look up the numbers and find value and hit the spots where the line is just simply wrong. That's what we're going to do moving forward. It's going to be a fantastic year. The start of the season, is a drop in the bucket for what's about to come. And after this weekend, I still think we're going to be deep into profit. So really excited to get after it here on Saturday and Sunday. If you do want to join the team right now, the link's in the description. But let's just get into these free plays. I just had to come on here and just tell everybody straight up that I fucked up. I fucked up, and it's been a long time since I've made a really boneheaded decision like that. It's been a long time. And I just really don't screw around with sports betting. I mean, I really, truly take this seriously. I put a lot of money on these bets. And I mean, it's not the end of the world. It was a little 2-unit wager. That's about my average in football. It's not the fact that we lost money. Okay, you're always going to have losing picks in the mix. It's forcing unnecessary bets just based on just based on feeling like you have to have some type of action. So just remember, guys, you don't have to bet all these games. Don't feel like you always have to bet. Take a day off. Your discipline, your bankroll management, and the unit size you put on wagers is head and shoulders above everything else. The most important thing you can do to be successful in sports betting, if you're just doing this for fun, slapping $5-10 on the game for entertainment purposes, then this is all irrelevant. And sorry, I just wasted 5 minutes of your life. But for people that are considering joining the team or on the team right now, I mean business, and this is going to be an extremely profitable football season. Just want to give you a heads up of kind of things moving forward. Let's get into the free picks, guys. Feel pretty good about this one. So Packers, Eagles, the reason I'm not going to be betting this, and by the way, I'm not betting this, 100% not betting this. It's in a different country, man. I mean, we saw it with the Florida State game in college. If you have like a standalone game where it's the only game of the day, or it's in a different country, or there's been a lot of change in roster or coaching staff or injuries, like those are the things I just want to avoid. I'm also a Packers fan. I don't know, right here. It's hard to point when I'm looking behind me. I'm a little bit biased, okay? But I feel strongly about the Packers, guys. I think the Packers are going to win this game, but I want to show you the money splits. Let's bring up the money splits because these don't look good. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. I like the Packers. I think they're more proven. They have a better roster. I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. He's okay, but he's middle of the road at best. I mean, people think Jalen Hurts is this elite guy, even talked about in MVP conversations at times. And I think that's far, far from the truth. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good. He could struggle. Don't love that defense. No confidence. They've had a lot of turnover in coaching staff. The Packers are a well-oiled machine. That is a good coach team, well-disciplined. They got some players. I like the Packers to win this game outright, but I absolutely would take the 2.5 points. Don't get greedy. Don't go on the money line. 2.5 points in the sport of football is extremely important. If you like the underdog, always take the points. 1.5, 2.5. Take the points with the Packers would be my free play. But I want to show you the money splits here because that's not what I'm going to actually put on the whiteboard. And I'll do it here in just a second. We currently have a 48.5 available. There's some 49.5, some 48.5. Like DK's got 49.5 right now. But look at these money splits. I'll go ahead and put it on the screen. The sharp action is just not really present. And if anything, it's probably on Philadelphia. So the main handle of this game is going to be made up from the money line. Most people that are going to bet on a game like this are not going to touch the spread. They're just going to go on the money line or touch the total. So that's where most of the money is here. I like the over, and the numbers here, the money splits tell you Philadelphia is the right side. But the line movement in this game, and my overall opinion on both of these rosters, and especially the coaching staff, I think Packers win this game, and it's going to be high scoring. I think the Eagles defense could be Swiss cheese. And at the end of the day, even though I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy, he's got weapons. They're pretty potent. I expect them to absolutely score here. So I like over the total of 48.5. Again, it's 49.5 on my screen. That was the first number I saw when I made the banners. But there's a 48.5 out there. That's what I'm going to put for the official whiteboard winning free pick here for NFL. And then we'll dive into some of these college games. Again, over 48.5. See if you guys can find the number out there. I think this one's going to be high scoring. I mean, really, we're not even talking 50 points, mid-20s each. I mean, 24-21 will get us there. I think that's a very, very likely score in this one. Give me the over. Give me the Packers. Let's get into college here. We'll actually start with this game going off today as well. Now look at the total, okay? I like Northwestern here. Let's bring up the money splits for this one. Let me pull up college here. Here we go. Yeah, undoubtedly sharp action on Northwestern. Pretty significant too. Big Ten team, Duke, man. We know the turnover, Riley Leonard, some of the coaching staff. Look, the defense is pretty good still. It's an ACC team. We all saw what happened in week 1. The ACC, man, these teams are garbage. They're literally garbage. Virginia Tech losing the Vandy. This is on the road. Now, it's not at Northwestern because they're having some stadium changes, but it's still a home game. It's still where the home field will be for Northwestern. I think they're too physical. This is obviously going to be just a gross game. Look at the total, 37.5. That's why I'm not going to recommend a spread in this one. I'm going to recommend you guys play Northwestern on the money line in this game. Next game down, I just can't ignore this one. Penn State went into Morgantown in a crazy environment. I was at the game. Pat McAfee was in town, Fox Big Noon kickoff panel, lots of celebrities, MGK did a concert. It was crazy, guys. It was insane. And even with that energy, them boys put it on, the Mountaineers. I watched those players in person, and I could feel the difference. I could just watch on the field. Penn State is big, fast, and strong. That is a damn good football team. Drew Aller, I didn't think he would make this type of progress. That is a good quarterback. That is a good, disciplined, fundamental team. And they're coached by a guy that likes to stomp on the little guys. I mean, he will run up the score here. I don't see Bowling Green scoring. That defense is insane. I mean, we're looking at a total of 49.5 points. I expect Penn State to score every point in this game. This could be a shutout. So if we're looking at a spread of 34.5, we have a game total of 49.5. And I think there's absolutely zero chance in the world that Bowling Green can score more than like once. Penn State, man, is this line serious? Are they going to pull people at halftime? I mean, Franklin likes to run teams into the ground. And I know Bowling Green actually has a pretty good team this year. And this is a classic letdown spot. You just went into Morgantown, week 1, big rival, a lot of hype going on around the game. And West Virginia, man, although they look pathetic, that's a good team. I mean, they were an 8.5-point underdog. They weren't expected to beat Penn State, but I did really think they would give them a run for their money. Penn State went in there and took care of business. This is a good team. They create turnovers. Good quarterback, great running backs, extremely elite line of scrimmage. I have no clue on planet Earth how Bowling Green is going to stay within 34.5 of this Penn State team at Penn State. It makes zero sense to me. Give me Penn State all day long. I'll lay the big number. Next game down here, Arkansas 7.5 against Oklahoma State. I wanted to bring this game up specifically to kind of give you guys another little hint when you're betting on football. When you see lines like 7.5 or 14.5 or 10.5 or even down near a field goal at 3.5, isn't it tempting to take the underdog? I mean, it looks good, right? We got Arkansas. We got an SEC team. They're going to play Oklahoma State, who's good, but maybe not great. Arkansas, they've had a lot of changes and stuff recently too. KJ Jefferson going off to the Big 12 to play at UCF. I know it looks so tempting to take the SEC team and a full touchdown in your back pocket plus the hook. I don't think so. Ollie Gordon and this Oklahoma State offense can flat out score. They can grind you down as long as they get up to like a 10-point margin. They can just absolutely grind this game out and take up the entire clock. Stillwater is just a crazy place to play football, extremely difficult. This is the first sign whether or not Arkansas has made any type of progress from last year's team. I don't see it, man. I see this as a 10 points or more win here for the Cowboys. So give me Oklahoma State in this one. I'll lay the 7 and a hook. You can always consider buying half a point to take a little bit of a less of a payout just to not have that hook on here. But here, man, I just think it's a trap line to take the dog. I'll go ahead and lay the points with Oklahoma State. Maybe even look at an alternative line of 9.5 and stay just under that key number of 10 and get a little bit of a plus money payout here. And then this one, I want to bring up this one as well. So my top trap game, I'm a Big 12 guy. I know the Big 12 well. Kansas, we always thought about, they're the basketball school. Every year at West Virginia, when we had our Kansas game, it was like, oh my God, thank God we got Kansas. Let's just get this big win. It'll be a fun day. We're going to blow them out 50-0, and then we're going to go drink a bunch of a beer and maybe hang out with some cute girls, right? Not the case, man. Not the case here. This is the biggest trap line I think I've ever seen in my life. That Kansas offense is electric. I would argue it's top 10 in the country, conservatively, maybe more. Daniels at quarterback, one of the best running backs in the country, returning 3 of their top 4 receivers, and a really, really, really good, I mean, elite head coach and coaching staff. This is a disciplined team. The defense still has to come around a little bit in this program, but Illinois has been kind of trash lately. When I saw this line, and I didn't do any of the research, I didn't look into trends, I didn't look up the money splits. I thought this might end up being a pretty big play. And for some reasons, man, this is one where I gotta kind of circle back to what I said in the beginning of today's video about not forcing wagers. I want to bet on Kansas. I want to. I can't. I found long-term trends of home underdogs in a revenge spot, with a spread between this number and that number, and all the trends, all the long-term numbers suggest Illinois covers this game. I also just can't understand the line movement and the money splits. I'll go ahead and put those on your screen. Let's take a look at this game. Let me scroll down here. Somewhere at the bottom. Kansas, where are you? Here we go. There's actually a 4.5 now. I have 5.5 on the screen. DraftKings just dropped this down to 4.5. Look at these money splits. 84, almost 85% of the money on the money line is on Kansas. Now, that's not where most of the bets are. We're talking about a spread that's, pretty hefty. But the sharp action undoubtedly on Illinois. We have 71% of bets placed on the spread on the Jayhawks, but only about 61% of the money. The sharp action's on Illinois. The long-term numbers say Illinois. And this is a line where, like I said, initial reaction, I thought they were going to be like a 9.5, like somewhere around 10 points, 5.5. I think this is one where Kansas somehow, some way has the offensive firepower to not get upset. For the trap game of the week, I'm going to take the 5.5 points because there's still a 5.5 out there. I'm going to take the 5.5 points with Illinois. And if Kansas wins by 17, this will be maybe the most prime example of bookmakers making a line so ridiculously wrong that everyone takes the wrong side in this one. So top trap game of the week. Please, guys, promise me you won't bet on this, even if you're a Kansas fan or an Illinois fan. Stay away from this one, man. If anything, maybe wait on the game. Live bet this one. If Illinois can score first, and then you can bet on Kansas like on the money line live at a great price, I think that would definitely be worth the shot. And I might be sending out a live bet on this game to the client list at halftime, depending on the odds and the situation and how things are going. But that's my top trap game of the week. Let's go ahead and get the whiteboard updated, guys. My official whiteboard pick here for college. Where are we going? Just lost it. Let me see if I can load this back up here. Whatever. Let's go back to this one, guys. I'm going with Oklahoma State in a great line that I think a lot of people, by the way, let me show the money splits. I don't think I brought up the money splits for this one, just to kind of show you here of how people can fall into traps like these. Where is that game? And look, money splits aren't everything, guys. You got to look into long-term trends, injury reports, how many snaps these players have. In college, the experience is critical. Coaching staff, is there turnover? Do you have new coordinators? Is the quarterback familiar with the system? Has he been there for a while? Home versus away? You got to put everything in. You got to put the money splits in. And everything needs to be correlated. You got to go down your list and check off all those boxes. And the games where you have almost every box check that you want to see are the ones where you put a few more units on them. That's pretty much sports betting, man. You just can't go too hard on some plays. You can't chase your losses. You just got to make the plays that have value and win more than you lose. Here's the money splits for the Oklahoma State game. The sharp money is actually on Arkansas on the spread on this one, but this is one where the line just isn't moving. In fact, it's actually moved the other way. I think this line's come up a bit. So we have some reverse line movement here. Not a whole lot of money on this game anyway, only about $200,000 handle right now on the Pickett app. So not a crazy heavily bet game. But I do think this is one where you could take a little bit more weight out of that. I like Oklahoma State at home here, and we're going to roll with them. We're going to roll with them for the free pick. Now, only a handful of games. Obviously, there's a bunch going off on Saturday, but I'm going to be betting quite a few. And the ones that'll be sent out to the client list, actually, that'll be sent out today. A couple will go out tomorrow because there's some where based on line movement, we're actually going to get a little bit better number tomorrow. So some plays will be sent out to everybody Saturday morning, but there's going to be an overwhelming majority of my plays sent out today on Friday. So if you guys want to hop on the website, consider placing an order, man. Even $29, you can get a week of my picks. Try it out for just one weekend. Guys, it's time to lock in. It's really time to mean business here. I'm really excited for this weekend. And yeah, catch you in the next video.